All right. Hey, as promised at the very beginning of the show, we have Shaela Miller live in the CJSW studios here. And Shaela, are you there?
I'm here. Hi.
Oh, marvelous. Thanks so much for coming all the way from LA.
Yeah. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for having me. It's a long journey.
Well, you make it look easy, and you're going to play a couple songs for us, and we'll have a gab afterwards. But yeah, what did you want to start out with?
I think I'll play the latest single I released here is called Tidal Wave.
Fantastic.
Living in my hometown, it's too late to leave. Feels like a tidal wave has come, crashing down on me, and I'm kicking up the dirt, shuffling through the leaves. I tossed away the roses, they were laid down at my feet. Trash the freedom of the delicate dream, just waiting for my midnight companion to come bring me sleep in my bed, where I lay in my head. Won't you come stay? Permanent changes, nothing's quite as it seems. Kaleidoscope memories of a fire that burns within me, percolate the teardrops to bring serenity. Inspiration comes as it goes, leaving me naked on my knees in my bed, where I lay in my head. Won't you come stay? Angular heartache makes it hard to breathe. The harvest rain pours down, a flash flood fills up the streets of my hometown. It's too late to leave, feels like a tidal wave has come, crashing down on me, down on me. I'm gonna now play you a song here off my last album, Big Hair, Small City. And this is one of my favorite tracks on the record. It's called, I know how to play it, but do I remember what it's called? I don't know. It's probably the best love song I ever wrote. It's track number 8. It's called Much More Than This. It just came to me. It came to me. What you didn't mean to say, I still wanna hear. What you didn't mean to say, I still wanna hear. I put my hand on my chest just to see if my heart still beats. I've been rolling down the hill and the grass stains are covering me. When I finally reach the bottom, am I gonna hit a rock with my head? Crawl to the highway and hold out my thumb. Ain't nobody gonna pick me up. And you came along and you carried me away. what you didn't mean to say, I still wanna hear. What you didn't mean to say, I still wanna hear. Fold the laundry over and over, you can take the knots out of my shoulder. I never wanted much more than this. Stretch your body over mine. You can even tell me your lies, 'cause I never wanted much more than this. I never wanted much more than this. I never wanted much more than this.
Lovely.
Thank you.
For those folks just tuning in, you're listening to Shaela Miller live in the CJSW studios. Welcome to CJSW, Shaela.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our utter pleasure. What a treat. We were talking off mic a little bit, and you were mentioning that you played Tidal Wave, which is a song that came out earlier this year, which actually had a bunch of heavy hitters play on it. I saw the list of the talent you had on it, like Aladdin Karufi and company on that, which is super, super cool. But you're currently working on a new album right now.
That's correct.
What's the story with this new record?
Well, we just finished. Well, that's not true. We've got a few more days of work to do, but not until in October sometime. But we just finished the bulk of it. It was recorded at the National Music Center, and my very first time ever using a producer. And we've been working with Graham Lessard, and I chose him to work with because we both have a deep love for new wave and dark wave music. And it was, I can't remember if it was 2019, can't remember if it was before the madness or during it that I bought my very first synthesizer. And I actually can't really play piano that well, but I've, learned a little, enough to kind of mess around on the synthesizer. And when I first started listening to country music, it was kind of like it was put on to me by my parents growing up. Hated it. And yeah, when I was choosing and listening to my own music, it was more like grunge and punk and like dark wave, new wave, industrial, all kinds of like heavy synth-driven music. And then I kind of started writing music, and I slowly leaned back into country music. So it was a couple years ago that I just was like, I want to write. At first I thought I'd have a side project, and then I was like, wow, that sounds like kind of crazy, a lot of work. My own project is very busy, so I'm like, how am I going to do that? And then I started to think, I started writing songs, and I was like, man, I could turn this song any which way. It could be a blues song, it could be a country song, or it could be a new wave song. And some people have been asking me, oh, what's dark wave, what's new, what difference between that? And when I say dark wave, I think like Depeche Mode and The Cure and stuff like that. When I say new wave, I think like, I'm going to try and think of some bands that, I guess like Flock of Seagulls or something would be more like new wave. And like, so I'm more driven by like the darker wave, just like maybe in country, I'm more driven by like the darker alternative side of country music. So with this new album, I don't know if it's a stretch to call it like country at all, but I think that with my own writing style, with my voice, with my like years of playing country music, I'm always gonna have that there. And I'm calling it kind of like, I'm creating a genre, I think, calling it dark wave country. Maybe country doesn't fit in, but...
Well, I guess maybe that's an interesting thing to bring up, because I often bring that up here is like, oh, I'd like to play things that are country adjacent, or show the wide breadth of what country music can entail.
Yeah.
And I applaud you, because like you're on an interesting path. Like,
yeah.
You've kind of come out of the gates with your first record as like a very kind of, I'm country with, kind of some of the aesthetic look and feel of it, both in sound and presentation and what have you. And then, when you sprinkle in those little bits of new parts, that really makes that your own thing.
Thank you. If Big Hair Small City, that's really more of like my fourth. So I've done so many country albums now for me. Like I have Bad Ideas was before that. And then I did a split album with Treeline, which the main singer of Treeline is Skinny Dick, who maybe you guys are familiar with here and the listeners of CJSW.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I love Skinny Dick.
Yeah, so he was the main singer of the band Treeline. So we did like a duet country album too, which is kind of harder to find. And then even before that, in 2010, I released my first country album under the band Shaela Miller Threesome, which is on Spotify under Shaela Miller's Threesome, and that album is also hard to find unless you come to my shows or search it up. But when I was writing these songs, I was kind of like, I don't want to make another country album. I love country, but there's all these other music genres that I love so much, and I know that I can, it was like, I had a few friends. I started to do some demos, and I was like, check this out, check that out. What should I call my side project? And they're like, there shouldn't be a side project. Going back to what I had said earlier, they're like, just Shaela Miller it up. Like people, and then I thought about it for a bit, and I was like, my fans, like when I'm looking out from the stage, like my fans they're not, sure, there's some fans that are diehard country fans, but I believe that my fans are fans that are music in general. They just like all kinds of music. So if I'm going to lose fans because I'm not playing like the same old flavor of my music that they always liked, then I don't really want those fans. No offense, listeners out there, but like, I don't want that. It's like, if you like me and love my music and it's still my voice, still my songs, it's my brand of, it's going to have me all over it. I'm hoping that everyone will be like, this is awesome.
Well, I would hope that they applaud your, you as an artist kind of spreading your wings and trying to encompass like a lot of dynamics to your sound, which is really what every artist should kind of go for. Otherwise, we're going to live in a very boring world.
Well, yeah. We can't just like the same thing all the time.
Gotcha. And you mentioned this forthcoming album is currently still being recorded and stuff like that?
It's mostly recorded. We just have, a few little overdubby things to do.
Add the candy.
Yes.
Gotta add the candy.
Yeah.
No, that's marvelous. Now, do you have any shows coming up here in town?
Yeah, tonight we're playing at the Ironwood for Breakout West. That's, what's our set? 12:15 a.m. Party time.
Oh, yeah. On Thursday night, which is Canada's Night to Party, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh. That sounds nice.
And the Ironwood's a pretty good time to do that.
Yeah, even the mall in Lethbridge is open till 9 on Thursdays.
Well, man, what a time to be alive.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Get Orange Julius for, pretty much whenever you want.
Maybe even a bubble tea.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds actually quite tempting right now.
Yeah. People call it other things, though, lately. What are the other names of bubble tea? There's another name for it, but my kids say it, and I don't know what they're talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. It's like the brown sugar pearls. Like they're like the special kind.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's fine. Whatever it's called, I'm gonna call it bubble tea.
Now, for your show tonight, are you playing solo or is a full band?
No, I got my whole band, including. It's been really cool. Like the band has gotten so on board with this new sound, and I feel like it's kind of put this kind of exciting energy like underneath all our wings as musicians, like Paul Holden, my bass player I've been playing with for 15 years. He loves everything. He plays in jazz bands, he's played in funk bands, he loves R&B, he loves everything.
Consummate bass player then.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even say, actually, I don't think Paul likes country music. I've never actually thought about that till right now, but he plays it really well.
and he likes my music. So this is a prime example. I was at Corblund's show in Lethbridge a while ago, and he's selling new merch that says, like, I don't like country music, but I like Corblund. And I was like, that's kind of like...
That's kind of illustrative of the whole identity
Yeah.
crisis of country music. Because,
Absolutely.
like, people will think, oh, it's like top 40, super glossy, lots of drum machines
Overly
and,
produced, yeah.
turbo tonk.
Yes,
you know.
yes.
But it also encompasses real deal country folks like, Corb and yourself and other
yeah.
things. That must be a hard thing to kind of reconcile at times.
It is. It's very hard. It's like talking to people and they're, what kind of music do you play? Like, meeting new people. And I'm like, I can't just say I play country music because it's like cringy to say that. Like, but it's also for me cringy for me to say like alt country or even like honky tonk or Americana or Canadiana or any stupid thing. I hate it all. I hate all the genres. It's like, I just play my music, and I hate that I have to say like 7 genres for someone to actually understand what kind of music I'm playing. And, I play country, but not that kind of country. I play country, but not the kind of country you're ever going to hear on Top 40. And I remember Merle Haggard, I was listening to him talk about Iris DeMent once, and she would never get played on country radio because they said she was too country. And Merle Haggard was talking about that, saying like, just talking about how garbage the Top 40 country radio is now. And it's like, Iris DeMent, you know who she is, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, amazing, like, whatever. And Haggard's like, if she's too country, like, stop playing me, basically. Like, why are you still playing me if you won't play her, like, because she's too country? Like, I don't know, it's just...
And sadly, Top 40 Country took their cue and stopped playing Merle Haggard.
Well, and they stopped playing country too. It's like, what kind of music is that? And that's kind of going back to what we were talking about before with like whatever genre defying kind of music I'm making now. It's like, that's not country either. Like, whatever that is got its own genre. And it's like, I mean, I've heard lots of like rhinestone princess country, bubblegum country, pop country, tan line country. Like, there's so many names for it. None of them are nice, and I don't think they call that themselves. They just call it country, right? The people. But it's like, nobody knows what country music is anymore. So including myself, when I think of country music, I think of Loretta Lynn and Dolly Parton and Patsy Cline and George Jones and all the old country greats. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, it's like you have to say 90s country, 70s, more like, really driving, like electric bass, like even Waylon Jennings is just like, you kind of have to, but back at the beginning when it's like, when country music was, I mean, I know it goes back even further than that, and there's all this history, but when I personally think of country, that's what I think about. And then beyond that, have to talk about it, and it's like, now, I mean, even in this country music development program that I was just a part of, each one of the artists in there, we're all like wildly different in terms of style from each other. And the genres become so broad that, like, why can't I have synthesizers in my band and still call it country?
Totally. George Jones had synths.
Yeah, see? And also, maybe I will make another, like, super hardcore honky-tonk kind of album again after I do this for a while. But maybe I won't. I'm just going to continue, evolving and growing.
Well, it sounds like you're approaching this like a true artist. Like,
thank you. I think so.
You want to do what you want to do,
yeah.
and that's who you should be satisfying.
Yes,
so
that's just it. And I was saying to someone too recently, it's like, nobody wants to hear me make another country album because I don't want to make one. So I'm never going to make music that I don't want to make. So if I made another one, it would be out of feeling like I was like pigeonholed and couldn't get out of it, and I'm not, and I'm never going to be. So you're going to want to hear the music that is like, making my heart sing, and that's all I've ever made in the past. That's all that's going to come out.
Well, and as someone who's writing their own songs the whole way through, you have to do it that way.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise, like, really, check please, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Magnificent. Well, you're playing tonight at the Ironwood. Where would people, outside of going to the tonight's show and probably getting an album or whatever out of your suitcase, where would people find more about Shaela Miller music?
Well, online, I guess, is probably what you're asking me.
More or less. Yes. Do you have a website?
I do have a website. It's really easy. It's ShaelaMiller.com. I got that domain. And then there's also, in terms of like social media stuff, I'm more of an Instagram person than anything. I can't do much more than that, so I'm sticking to that. So if you want to find out about shows and stuff, I also do post stuff on like my Facebook music page, but yeah, it's begrudgingly. Yeah,
I hear you. Like, that's one thing I think every artist struggles with in
Big time.
this part of the 21st century is you can't just be an artist, you have to be a marketing manager as well, and adhere to all this, cockamamie rules, for lack of a better adjective, about when to post and all that kind of stuff and tonality. It's an exhausting sort of thing.
Yes.
So good on you for focusing on what is important.
Yeah.
The art,
Yeah.
everything else. People will find you when they can.
Yeah, they can find me if they Google me. I don't think anyone's made me a Wikipedia page yet. Do I have to do that myself? I don't know.
Hey, folks, anyone listening right now, you want to make Shaela Miller a Wikipedia page?
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
That is so funny. Yeah, I think I kind of got off on a tangent before, but I just want to say the band is still the same, and they've all just like embraced these new roles. And I started talking about Paul, the bass player, and everyone's just kind of like, I've played with the same guys for like 10 plus years, and they've all embraced it. Even Skinny Dick, who's like countryer than thou, he's got the chorus pedal on his pedal steel, and he's making sounds that I've never heard a pedal steel make. Taylor Ackerman, who's been playing lead guitar for me for years, is playing synth. He's fully embraced the synthesizer role. Paul's got his chorus pedal on his bass. Tyler Bird on drums, killing it. So anyway, just shout out to my awesome band who's been with me all through the way, and they've totally been supportive and embracing this new sound.
Well, good for them, and good for you for like being the type of artist who can play with a full band, and then also like play a solo set.
Oh yeah.
On the radio in the middle of a Thursday afternoon.
Definitely, thank you.
Amazing. Well, Shaela, you were going to play another couple songs for us.
Yeah, I'll play a couple new songs.
Hey, why not?
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. What are you going to start with?
I'm going to play this song. It's called Freedom at the Waterline. And I wrote this during the madness that we all went through before the convoy. And then I got really scared about releasing this song because of the word freedom in it. And I'm just going to say right now on air that freedom is our word, and I'm not changing the lyric in my song because of those losers. Okay?
Yeah, bless your heart.
All right.
Go for it.
Yeah, so this one's called Freedom at the Waterline. My friends, they all tell me how they're feeling. So damn good, they're staring at the ceiling. Devastation jitters through the mind. Reach through my door and show me that you're fine. Long John's turned inside out. Proud Mary screams and shouts, find freedom at the waterline. Clear your throat, there's silence in the seasons. Visit your lover, commit high treason.
sell your soul into damnation. Illuminate your public isolation. Long John's turned inside out. Proud Mary screams and shouts to find freedom at the waterline. Long John's turned inside out. Proud Mary screams and shouts to find freedom at the waterline. Reverend heart, you are a mystery. Remove the haze that you washed over me. My house coat is bourbon stained. Still insomnia nips at my brain. Long John's turned inside out. Proud Mary screams and shouts to find freedom at the waterline. Long John's turned inside out. Proud Mary screams and shouts to find freedom at the waterline. Find freedom at the waterline. Find freedom at the waterline. That was my Freedom at the Waterline. And I'll play another news song here. This one's called Mourning Tonight. That's mourning with a U.